feeling. This place is jumping off hard as it can get. No, we won't ever stop dancing on the edge. We like it dangerous, we like to see you split. Turn up another notch, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Right now, 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 right now. Got a real good feeling, got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. Right now, 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 right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling, got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. I got a real good feeling.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about none other than Polkadot. It is the Layer 0 interoperability platform that helps to bring together different protocols like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, and many, many more. Really quickly, I want to break down what exactly Polkadot is, why it's important, and then we're going to dive into the technical analysis, and I'm going to tell you why I think it is prime for a big movement. Polkadot is essentially being a Layer 0 protocol, something that builds what you might call the internet of cryptocurrencies. In fact, I have a quote here from Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, and he says, over the next 3 to 5 years, what will happen is our industry will converge to a Wi-Fi moment where it just works. And no matter what ecosystem you happen to be in, it will be very easy for you to migrate from that system to the next system with some notion of a timeout. Without some notion of a timeout. So what he's talking about here is he believes in the next 3 to 5 years, the cryptocurrency ecosystem is going to move in the direction where everything is going to interoperate, everything's just going to work together, and the end user isn't going to have to worry about, hey, is this decentralized application running on Ethereum? Is it running on Cardano? Am I transacting in Bitcoin? The end user isn't going to have to worry about that. The end user is just going to say, hey, I got this need that I need solved, and this blockchain application helps to solve that. You know, successful products make customers' lives faster, simpler, easier, or less expensive. And the way that entrepreneurs make their money is by finding a way to monetize solutions that do just that. So the fact that Polkadot has an ability that allows it to make people's lives faster, simpler, easier, less expensive by bringing together all of these different cryptocurrency projects is why it is so successful already. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump on to the chart here. I'm going to bring you some news and some technicals on Polkadot.
You didn't introduce me.
You're right, I didn't introduce you,
Smay. This is the third show that we've done, and the third time you've not introduced me.
Smay, how are you doing,
Hello,
buddy?
everybody. I'm here, and I am your resident Polkadot lover.
He is our resident Polkadot lover, and he's also going to be helping me to explain Polkadot in this video. I do apologize, Smay. It's not because I don't love you.
No.
Actually, it is. Anyway, we're going to jump onto the chart. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Well, you know, if you guys didn't know the way I'm treated here, now you guys know how I'm treated here.
The reason I'm treating you this way, Smay, is because you changed hats. You had that other hat, and you know that you went to Australia Zoo. I missed the clover. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and jump on here into some Polkadot over US dollar tether technical analysis. As you guys know, All right, you might not know, but as you're about to find out, Polkadot has had a very successful year. Ever since the beginning of 2021, when Polkadot was trading at $8, it has hit an all-time high of $50. In fact, it was trading at $5 right before the year began. So we're actually up 600%, 7x from the beginning baseline that we were at the beginning of this year. It's had a very, very successful year. Now, as per usual, we're going to run through the bullish, the bearish, and then we're going to come to the conclusions here on our technical analysis. And the first thing I want to bring your attention to is the fact that we have seen a strong buy signal come in here on the daily chart from LuxAlgo. If we go down to the 4-hourly chart, we're also going to see that there is a buy signal in play. It was a normal buy signal, not a strong one, but we switched over to green from purple, and that is a buy signal now. So that is a good sign. One of the other things I want to bring to your attention is the golden pocket. If we bring up our Fibonacci retracement and we pull back from here, you can see that our golden pocket, which sits at 61.8 to 65%, sits between $34 and $35. My phone is ringing. I am very sorry. I'm sorry. My apologies for that, guys. That was my bad. I'm sorry. We can see right here that there is a golden pocket in between $34 and $35, and Polkadot managed to break bullish above that. We tested that as a level of resistance, and Polkadot has now broken back up above that. Another thing to bring to your attention is the fact that we're sitting above the 20 exponential moving average here on the daily chart. That 20 daily exponential moving average right here is acting as support. We've seen Polkadot come down and test this twice now, and it has bounced off of it, which is a very good sign. Another thing to point out is that the volume is still very high. We've had a big rally over the last couple of weeks, and now we are seeing that that volume is continuing to move through into the rest of this week. So it's a good thing that our volume is sitting very high. One of the last things I want to talk about on the bullish side of things is the RSI divergence. As you guys know, RSI divergence is one of the most powerful tools we have to predict the movement of trends. And the fact of the matter is we have bullish RSI divergence sitting right here. But that actually brings us to our bearish technicals, because not only do we have bullish RSI divergence, unfortunately, we also have bearish RSI divergence, because there's an uptrending level of resistance on the daily chart, but also a downtrending level of resistance on the RSI. So that indicates that we should be looking to see some kind of correction. Now, you might argue we've seen the correction right here. I would argue that it's not done. Why? Because the RSI divergence actually takes into account both of these rallies, the one here on the price action and the one here on the RSI. So I don't think that the RSI is fully corrected, and I don't think the market has fully corrected and embraced this just yet. I think that we need to see both RSI divergences play out, or for them to just cancel each other out. So that's something to keep in mind. RSI divergence on both accounts is in play at the moment. Another thing to bring to your attention is down on the 4-hourly chart. I'm going to go ahead and clean my chart by getting rid of everything, hit that trash can button, and you'll notice that the same uptrending level of resistance is met by another uptrending level of support, and we're sitting in a rising wedge here on the 4-hourly chart. Now, anyone who's gone through the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy will know that rising wedges typically break to the downside. So this rising wedge breaking down into the 20s, maybe $30, we'll look at price targets here in a second, is definitely in the cards and something that we should be aware of. Another thing to bring to your attention is the resistance that we're seeing right above us. There is not much room until we hit some critical resistance at $40. $40 I'm pulling from our levels right over here. There was a rally to $40 on the 9th of March and a rally on the 19th of March. We can also see, if we bring up our VPVR, that there was a decent amount of a spike right here at $40. You can see there's a little blip right there. So that does indicate to us that $40 is the level that we ought to be looking at over on Polkadot. Now, I also want to bring to your attention this, and it would be none other than the Elliott waves. You guys know I've been experimenting with Elliott waves a little bit lately, and I believe that what we are seeing right now might be the end of an Elliott wave impulse phase. Let me explain. Elliott waves are a way that we can characterize movements in the markets where the movement is broken up into things called sub-phases or waves. So the impulse wave, the motive wave to the upside typically has 5 waves. It has the first wave, which is a leg up, a second wave, which is corrective, a third wave, which is a leg up, a fourth wave, which is a leg down, and then a fifth wave, which is a leg up. I think that's what we're seeing right here, and this would be a bearish sign for this project. DOT should be moving to the downside from here based on the fact that we see resistance right above us, we see a rising wedge, and we also see that we're in the fifth wave of this formation here on Elliott waves. Another thing to point out is that we're on the top of the Bollinger Bands, which indicates, you guessed it, we need to see some form of correction. All of that to say, right now, there is quite a bit of bearish quite a few bearish technicals going on the Elliott waves and on the rising wedge and on the Bollinger Bands. And I'll even argue this, if we look at the MACD, we're not really getting a whole lot of great bullish indication that we're going to continue to the upside from this. It looks like, to be frank, that the MACD is trading sideways while we're moving to the upside. I don't know that if there's anything officially called MACD divergence. I don't think there is, but the fact that MACD is trading sideways while the price is going up doesn't give me a lot of confidence in this market. And even on the daily chart right here, guys, take a look at this. We're seeing that the divergence between the MACD line and the signal line is slowing down, not accelerating, which means that the uptrend is slowing down. So none of these are very good signs technically. I am of the opinion, and I'll go ahead and tell you what my conclusion is. I am of the opinion that Polkadot is a great project, and I believe that interoperability is one of the most important things that we can bring to cryptocurrencies. Why? Because interoperability is the thing that allows us to bridge the gap between all these different blockchains. Think about it like this. If every single different company that was running different parts of the internet had to run the entire internet, and we had 17 different internets, the internet would not be very successful, would it? Think about it like this. Let's say that instead of there being one YouTube where you can go and you'll find all of this video streaming service, all these video streaming done by individual content creators, instead of going there, let's say you had to go to 15 different YouTubes. Now, there are competitors to YouTube. There's Twitch and there's some other things in the decentralized space, but in general, there, for the most part, is one thing. It's YouTube. It's a monopoly. It is. And it's not actually that bad of a thing from the end user perspective. It is a bad thing from oversight because nobody can compete with YouTube because YouTube will put them out of business very quickly. It is a naturally forming monopoly. But for the sake of the end user not having to jump around all over the place, it's actually pretty helpful and beneficial. It's easier to grow on one platform than it is to grow on 15. Just look at the mobile apps where social media reigns. And there's 15 different social media apps that are seeing tons and tons and tons of growth, and all of them have to tweak things and do things differently and really compete for your attention. The point here is a central system in the case of bringing everything together, not central as far as authority and governance. I'm not fighting against decentralization, but a central way that all of the cryptocurrencies are able to communicate cross-chain with each other is very, very important and very, very impactful. And it's why we see that Polkadot is so successful. In fact, I can go to Polkadot's website themselves here, and I want to read a couple of their little kind of talking points here. Just read straight from their website. What they have to say here is this. True interoperability. Polkadot enables cross-blockchain transfers of any type of data or asset, not just tokens. Connecting to Polkadot gives you the ability to interoperate with a wide variety of blockchains in the Polkadot network. Furthermore, Polkadot provides unprecedented economic scalability by enabling a common set of validators to secure multiple blockchains. That's really interesting because it means instead of working on just one blockchain, you can work on multiple at the same time. Polkadot provides transactional scalability by spreading transactions across multiple parallel blockchains. Easy blockchain innovation. You can pause this and read this for yourself. I'm not going to go through all of this, but one thing that's also pretty interesting is that they are able to now roll out updates without having to run out without having to drive a hard fork, which is something that is very beneficial for anyone who is in the Polkadot environment. Smay, I know you are a fan of Polkadot. What are some of your thoughts on the project? I know I'll put you on the spot.
No, I was going to say, I really like Polkadot. Well, one, I'll have to say this. Is because it has a deep place in my heart because, like everybody in cryptocurrency, you always remember the first coin you get, right? Mm-hmm. And Polkadot is not the first coin I got, but Polkadot...
There's a setup there today.
No, listen. When I first joined this company, I was hired as a researcher because Jeb didn't want me. And
that's not true.
I'm kidding.
Come on.
But no, I joined the company and I the first report I ever turned in was a report on Polkadot, which we never used.
That's true. That is true.
And so that further supports my first point. But I turned into this thing about Polkadot and I got to research Polkadot and I really, really loved it. So no, I think it's very, very important. I think a lot of people don't put enough weight on Polkadot because I think there was a debate we had this a couple months ago that was talking about basically how they've been kind of silent in terms of their development. Nothing. There's not this Charles Hoskinson for them that's constantly saying this and saying that, and these big developments here and these big developments there. It's all very kind of like low key, but I think in the long run, they've just been so productive. You know, they've really been getting stuff done behind the scenes, developing Polkadot, and I respect that a lot. And I think, like you said, the interoperability. That word.
That is a hard word.
I just think it's the usefulness of Polkadot, man. Like, people don't understand that. Like, this has an opportunity to be a gigantic cryptocurrency with what it's trying to pull off. And if it pulls it off successfully, it could absolutely change the crypto world as a whole.
Yeah.
You know? So.
And I'll be the first one to I'll probably be the 5,000th person to say it. Polkadot might be one of the things that brings mass adoption for cryptocurrency. And I mean that. And the reason is because Polkadot is designed to solve a problem that most cryptocurrency applications have. And that is they're not user-friendly, like at all. It is so freaking hard to figure out how to set up a MetaMask and how to, set up a Bitcoin wallet and transact all this stuff. And oh my gosh, if I send it to the wrong address, the Bitcoin's deleted forever. What do I do if that happens? There's so many places where it's difficult for somebody to work in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and it's hard for people to get started. Polkadot is aiming to make that a lot simpler. So I'll wrap out with this. Any type of data across any type of blockchain, so says their website. Polkadot is a network protocol that allows arbitrary data, not just tokens, to be transferred across blockchains. This means Polkadot is a multi-chain application environment where things like cross-chain registries, and say that 3 times fast, and cross-chain computation are possible. Polkadot can transfer this data across public, open, permissionless blockchains as well as private, permissioned blockchains. This makes it possible to build applications that get permissioned data from a private blockchain and use it on a public blockchain. For instance, a school social permissioned academics record chain could send a proof of a degree verification smart contract to a public coin. So all in all, and I'll wrap it out with this, I think Polkadot is a fantastic project. Fundamentally, I think it is something that is going to remain in the top 10 so long as it's able to continue to deliver on things like this. However, I don't think its technicals are very, very great right now. I think it's going to break its all-time high in the next 12 months, as I think most things are going to here in cryptocurrency, but I don't think it's going to do it right now. I personally think that what Polkadot needs to see, and I will show you guys this on my chart, I personally think that what Polkadot needs to see is the second part of a major Elliott wave phase. There are 5 waves in the first phase, and then what you see happen often is what is known as an ABC corrective phase. That would result in something like this. I think that's what we're going to see happen. I think Elliott waves are going to end up predicting that, hey, Polkadot's probably going to come down a little bit. Probably not all the way down to $24. That's probably a little bit extreme, but I do think it's going to come down to a certain degree. Where that comes down is going to be dictated a lot by things like moving averages, so I can show you some of those. Perhaps its 200 moving average and its 100 moving average will be places that we should be watching. Excuse me, those are the EMAs. Let's look at our normal SMAs. Our 200 is moving right up here to around that $30 level, so we could potentially end up seeing a price drop all the way down to $30. We're at $37 right now. Yeah, you know what? That's where I'm going to predict it. I think that right around $30, negative 25% is probably where we're going to go from here. Frankly, when the rest of the crypto market starts running in the next couple of weeks, I think that we're going to see a lot of value move out of Polkadot, as it is already up 270% in 57 days, and we're going to see some of that moving into Bitcoin and Ethereum the exact same way we saw happen with Cardano, where Cardano lost some of its market capitalization to some of the other big players. So that's all I got for you right now. I want to read some chat, but then we're going to wrap it out. Tell us what you think in the comments and in the chat here on this stream. Where do you think Polkadot is going next? Do you think it's going to moonshot to like $100 in the next 6 months? Or do you think that it is going to go through a correction and then continue moving to the upside like I think?
Well, I'll tell you what I think.
That's what I want to hear. What do you think,
I think that we're going to be seeing it break $100 in the next year, 12 months.
I agree with that.
And here's what I have to say, guys. Here's the big thing. Here's the big thing about Polkadot. that it's not competing with Cardano.
It's not
It's
at
not
all.
competing with Ethereum.
No, it serves them.
Exactly. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand is that this is such a great currency. Currency. This is such a great project to keep your eyes on. I'm not necessarily telling you to invest in it, although I'm invested in it. What I'm saying is this is such a good project to at least keep an eye on because it has so much potential behind it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're looking at Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, right? They're all doing basically the similar things, right? So you're kind of just waiting for whichever one does it better, and that's the one that's going to kind of take the show. Not saying they can't live in harmony, but they're going to start to compete against each other. With Polkadot, it's kind of like running its own race. So like if you got to kind of just keep an eye on it, and it has a potential to be something very big. I'm going to just go out and say it. I think in the next 5 years, it's probably going to be in the top 3.
Yeah,
in terms of market cap. Yeah.
Really? I don't think it's going to be in the top 3 just because I don't think it's going to be something that people are going to invest heavily in. But I think it'll stay in the top 10.
I think so. I mean, I think okay, right. maybe top 4. But my thing is, I think it's more valuable than Cardano in my opinion.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess in terms of value, but I don't know if people will invest it in it that way.
It's true.
But you know what I mean?
I mean, it's like saying that. Think about it like this. I use the interstate highway system analogy quite a lot. The interstate highway system is the thing that connects the United States. The United States is a lot more valuable than the interstate highway system. The interstate highway system makes the United States as valuable as it is, but if America is worth $20 trillion a year, does that mean the interstate highway system is worth $20 trillion a year plus whatever it's worth?
Well, why is it worth that much?
Because the interstate highway system helps.
That's what I was going to say. If you can't send goods from business to business and so on, then they're not worth that much.
But that might not lead to a nominal market capitalization disparity.
I know, but I'm saying, I think if people really catch on and see what Polkadot's trying to do, then we might see it be at least in the top 5. Like, I could definitely see it being in the top 5. I think it's heavily undervaluated for what the project is.
I agree. I totally agree with that, and that's just the nature of early cryptocurrency, guys. There is a lot that still needs to be developed here. Well, guys, we don't want to take up any more of your time. You guys said that you believe that $100 Polkadot is coming within the next 12 months. 4 out of 5 people said that. Smay, do you have any closing words for the audience on Polkadot?
I love DOT. I own DOT. DOT is great.
It is a great project, and it is one that I think you ought to invest in. That's not financial advice, just so we're clear, but it is my opinion, and that's what you came for. So I think Polkadot's a great project, and I think if it's not in your portfolio, I think it should be. Make sure to smash that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel. We are settling into how we want to do this show, and I'm really enjoying coming here to you 3:30 Eastern every single day to talk to you about some of your favorite cryptocurrencies. I cannot wait for tomorrow. We got some great things coming up, so stay tuned. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you for today. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.